Well, another great Jim Campilongo composition.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was noteworthy that we played it and then said let's do it for real, more or less. Did about 4 takes, and the last one we thought was good,
but I fucked up.
Well,
the great recording is lost to history. But take one was acceptable.
And then we went back and listened to take one. And we were like, yeah, there was nothing wrong with take one. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you heard. Take one.
And you called it Anhelo, which is longing in Spanish.
True.
And you're about to go back to Buenos Aires to play some gigs. So I mean, there's a little bit of a porteño, Buenos Aires, Piazzolla connection here, right?
I think so. It wasn't on purpose. It just kind of came out. But yeah, that's on my mind and in my DNA right now.
So when we were learning this, it led to a discussion about the minor 6 chord, which we both love. I think it's my favorite chord.
Unanimous vote on that one.
Yeah, and for me, it's it's associated with the jazz I love most, which is 1930s, leading up to Pearl Harbor,
Mm-hmm.
and that when Charlie Christian was living his short life, and probably the greatest version of the Ellington band, and that
And
mysterious.
Django?
Hell yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of a pre-war jazz sound, but wow, it's just so evocative to me.
So it functions, I mean, I use it 3 different times. Let's say,
I'll play,
D minor 6. So just, I'll play D minor 6. Such a nice sound. Okay, then I use it, and because of Charlie Christian and everybody before me, as a dominant 7th, D minor 6 over G7.
It's kind of a G9 minus the root, yeah.
One more time. And then, last but not least, over B minor 7 flat 5.
That's touching on an interesting idea. And I'm kind of weird about the way I hear those things. And this is just my brain. I'm not saying this is the best way to think of it. But I tend not to relate to the kind of jazz theory that has you think in one key and play in the other.
Right.
And that's, obviously players far greater than I think exactly that way. So obviously it's not a bad technique. But I'm always thinking of the key I'm in.
Me too.
And if I'm playing, that D minor 6 over the B minor 7 flat 5, I'm not thinking D minor 6. I'm thinking B minor 7 flat 5.
Me too.
And it's also, a very notorious example is for a lot of players who are playing secondary dominant chords, like say the bridge of I Got Rhythm. You say E7, A7, D7, G7. Is there's a trick or a technique where if you play the harmonic minor scale beginning a half step above the root of the chord, it creates an interesting kind of harmonically ambiguous sound. It's certainly been used to good effect, but man, my brain does not work that way at all.
No, me neither. And there's great players I personally know that think that. But I have met younger players who, that's the way they learned. And sometimes I liken it, and this is a real negative as opposed to great players who think that and rip over Stella by Starlight or something like that. But they have like an overflowing toolbox, but they really can't make a shelf.
Well, exactly. Play an A7 for me, and in case anyone was wondering, so the idea is A is on the root. So if I play a B flat harmonic minor, which is the version of the minor scale, with the raised 6 and 7, well, just hang on your A for a second.
When we use it, let me play E7 sharp,
okay,
and then
I'm going to go to F minor harmonic minor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a 5 thing that.
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
It makes a cool sound, but it's. I'm one of those dorks who, when I'm playing or improvising, the notes are running through my head like they're on a piece of paper. It's like, it's not necessarily a good thing because I'm probably thinking about it too much, but I'm always thinking like in the key and within the key signature, and that kind of substitute. Imagine you're playing in B flat and you'll get a great riff to play over A7. It's just doesn't work for me.
There's a big picture of that I don't see, and I kind of wish I did, but yeah, I'm like real. I mean, even if I learn something like that, I transpose it to, okay, this is. It's not D minor 6 anymore, it's B minor 7 sharp 11, and I'm starting here on the 3rd of B, and there's a flat 5 in B, but I leave the confines or the overview of D minor 6.
Yeah, well, obviously great players use both techniques.
Mediocre players too.